Hello, Security, and welcome back to another one of these Tiermaker video thingies. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured it's been a couple years since we've done one ranking all of our Let's Plays. It might be fun to take another crack at this, because the last time we did this was 2021. Our most recent Let's Play at that time, I believe, was Super Paper Mario. That was about 4 years ago now. A lot has happened since then, so I figured now's a good opportunity to do a bit of an update for that. So yay, that's gonna be fun. So to put it into perspective, how many projects we've done since then, Super Paper Mario was the most recent one we did. And I just noticed that this is a little bit out of order, but ignoring that for a moment. Since then we've done Game Boy Player, Tetris Effect, Kirby 64, Super Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Snap, Toy Story 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Tomb Raider, Game Watch, Legend of Zelda, Pikmin 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Luigi's Mansion, Blue the Video Game, Wii Sports, and Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. So, without further ado, let's get this started. If you'd like to make your own little tier list for this, there will be a link in the description below. So that's going to be a fun time all around. Starting at the very beginning, we're going to put a lot of stuff in the May category. So yeah, at the time I was happy with how these turned out, but looking back on them now is a little bit hard to go back to. I feel like New Super Mario Bros. Probably is the one that's a little bit more special to me compared to the rest of them at that time, because this one has one of my favorite moments with the Meanie Beanie from one of the earlier days of the channel. So like there's a moment where we're just goofing off and she like punches my shoulder and I almost fall off a block because of it, but then I make it back at the last second. It's a bit of an old clip, so I don't know if I'd feature on the Gator Memories, but it is something that's pretty special. Four Swords, that one was a bit of a weird one, so I didn't actually finish the game when I decided to make a video on it, because I noticed that there weren't really a whole lot of Let's Plays out there. I know I could do a much better job on this nowadays, and we actually did a collab with this with the James Rose over on the collab channel. And I thought that turned out pretty well, so if you want like an actually decent Four Swords Let's Play, go check that out instead. Majora's Mask and Super Mario 2 Anniversary have all had updated versions since then, so don't bother watching these ones. The original Pikmin Let's Play, I'm gonna rank it below average. I do like how some moments in this Let's Play turned out. That's where the whole running gag of naming every individual Pikmin started from. And there's one moment in particular where during one of the intros, a Pikmin makes a Godzilla sound effect. I really liked how that turned out, so yeah, that was pretty fun. Tomb Raider Legend, the original one, I'm gonna put it towards the top of Meh. I honestly don't remember much about this Let's Play. Most of my memories from Tomb Raider Legend in videos are from like the update Let's Play we did later, so I don't remember a whole lot from the original. Toy Story 2 I'll put above Pikmin. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I'm gonna put an average. Now, this one is an old Let's Play, so there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. My audio quality isn't that great, the capture quality is terrible, but this one has a special place in my heart because this was the Let's Play where I met Green Kirby's Gaming, and we're still friends 10 years later, so yeah, that's pretty awesome. Green Kirby's Gaming, if you're watching this, I love you, man, you're super awesome. I'm really excited to continue our Mario Galaxy 2 versus, hopefully soon. So yeah, this one holds a special place in my heart. The original Link's Awakening Let's Play, I'm gonna put towards the top of Meh. I do remember a lot of stuff from this one, and it's not very pleasant. So at that time frame, I still had to do a lot of post commentary in my videos because I was having trouble with my live commentary setup. And I think pretty much the entirety of this Let's Play was post commentary, which did not make for great commentary. So yeah, there were a few moments here and there that I liked, but the ones that I did like, we kind of redid in our most recent version of the Let's Play, because we did Link's Awakening again this past year. So yeah, Link's Awakening I'm just going to put on the top of Meh for now. Skyward Sword, I'm going to put an average as well. Skyward Sword is a pretty fun one. This is one of the last major projects that I did with the old capture card. Actually, no, we did a couple more after that. So I think actually it was Wind Waker, the first one we did with the current capture card. So we'll get back to that in a second. Skyward Sword is where I felt like I was starting to really get more comfortable with doing 3D Zelda games and like story-driven games in general. So this is one that I do want to redo at some point, because I know I could do a lot better job nowadays, and with Skyward Sword HD being a thing on the Switch, I feel like that'd be a good opportunity to redo this one and kind of do this game justice. The thing with that, though, is that there are a couple other Zelda games I would want to do first, so I don't know when a Skyward Sword HD Let's Play would happen. Epic Mickey I'm going to put towards... Okay, here's the thing. This one, I remember mostly from how long it took to edit these videos, because what I would do is that in every video, I would start off with the paint path for wherever we were located in that episode, and the end of the video would show the thinner decisions. So I remember it taking a really long time to put a video together. I don't remember much of the commentary, though, so for that reason, I'm going to put it in meh. This is another one that I feel like could do a lot better nowadays, especially with Epic Mickey Rebrushed coming out. So, man, that's the thing that kind of stinks about making videos for as long as I have, is that I feel like a lot of my older projects, even though if I was happy with the time, with how they turned out, I know I could do a much better job nowadays. So, yeah, it's like a juggling act between deciding, okay, I want to redo something that I did before that could do a better job nowadays, or I could do something entirely new that we haven't done yet. It's a weird balance trying to figure out what to do in that kind of situation. Super Mario 64, I'm gonna put it above Mario Galaxy 2. I feel like this was actually my first somewhat decent Let's Play, where, like, going back to it nowadays, I could still watch this one without cringing too much. I do stutter a lot in these videos, so it's not the best commentary in the world, but I do like the structure for how we did the missions during the Mario 64. There's one moment that I really liked towards the end. There actually was a Gator memory recently, where Mario's looking at the screen. It's like, oh, nice computer you got here. Can I have it? Spyro the Dragon, I'm also gonna rank... do I want to put this in above average, actually? I really liked how this one turned out. Yeah, I will. I love this Let's Play, actually. This is one where I know I could do a better job nowadays, but I really liked how it turned out at the time. And I still think back fondly on a lot of fun stuff that happened in those videos. So, you know what? Yeah, we will put Spyro the Dragon in above average. One of my favorite memories from this Let's Play was... It was a video with Green Purpose Gaming. I think it was the Ice Cavern level. We spent like an hour or so recording this video because I couldn't find the key anywhere. I guess somewhere along the way we were sidetracked in a conversation. I wasn't paying attention because I picked up the key earlier in the level. I didn't notice it, and so we were just running around like an idiot for an hour. So that was a pretty fun. That was a really fun time. Pikmin 3 I'm going to put towards the top of average. Now this is one where I feel like the earlier part of the Let's Play, back when we were doing the main story, was just okay, but the side stories later turned out a lot better. This one, I will say, it's a bit of a hard one to think back on right now, because the last of the videos I recorded with Meanie Beanie, I believe there are 2 of them that I haven't uploaded yet. They were Bingo Battle videos for Pikmin 3. Well, actually, the very last one we did was an Animal Crossing video, but the last one we did in person was for Pikmin 3 Bingo Battle. So those last 2 videos I haven't uploaded yet. It's kind of hard for me to go to them right now, because it's like, okay, once these are uploaded, this is the last of the content Meanie Beanie was ever involved in. So that's a little bit hard for me to go back to right now. But overall, I really liked how this one turned out. I love that video where Meanie Beanie's entire Pikmin squad got wiped out pretty much at the beginning of the round. That was such a good moment. We talked about that for a while after that. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm gonna put... Do I want... I loved how this one turned out, but I know the quality wasn't that great. But I gotta put it in epic awesomeness. So... I know I could do a much better job nowadays if I were to redo this one. But I love Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. It's probably my favorite Mario spin-off ever. And there's that whole running gag of, oh, we're never going to finish this Let's Play because we had the original Wii U version, and then the Switch version came out, and then the DLC came out after that. So it was like a never-ending cycle of, okay, we're just going to keep getting Captain Toad Treasure Tracker content over and over again. The thing about that, though, is that, technically speaking, there is one thing that I never showed off. There's the Labo VR levels in this game that is very difficult to record. I can't do the same setup I did with the Mario Odyssey VR levels, so if I want to make a video on that, I gotta figure out something else for it. But other than that, I really like this one. This is where, I think this was the first project that the James Rose and I did together. We did a couple of videos before that, like gaming discussions and a 12 Days of Gaming video on Pokemon Yellow. But this is where I feel like the whole friendship dynamic with Game between me, James, Pancake, and Cobra, like we all started like re-talking around this time. Pancake didn't actually appear until a little bit later, but this is where I feel like that whole friendship dynamic really started. So this one has a very special place in my heart. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. I'm going to put an average towards the top of it. I'm going to bump Pikmin 3 down a little bit, actually. So Wind Waker, let's actually bump you down a little bit too. So Wind Waker is a bit of a weird one. I liked how this one turned out, and I feel like this is where I was really getting more comfortable with how to do a story structured game. But at the time, here's the thing. How I was doing the treasure charts in this Let's Play was that if we got a treasure chart, we would show where the reward was at the end of the video. But if we couldn't get to it yet, then we'd have this was back when YouTube annotations were a thing, we'd have a YouTube annotation taking you to a future video where we did get that treasure. The thing about that though is that I didn't keep track of that, so when YouTube annotations just got completely deleted off of YouTube and replaced with cards and end screens, all that information was lost, so it's a little bit hard to think back on this Let's Play, and I feel like if I were to do it nowadays, that's the big thing that I would address. I don't particularly have a desire to go back to Wind Waker because I like how this Let's Play turned out, but that is something that I think about every now and then. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we discuss Breath of the Wild a little bit later in the video, because what happened there actually had a major impact on how I was planning out Breath of the Wild. Earthbound Ghost near the top. I know I could do a better job nowadays. My big problem with this Let's Play is that I don't like how the enemy bios turned out. I feel like visually they don't look that great, and my big problem is that the item drop rarity, I didn't round down the fractions on that, so if something had a 1 in 128 chance of dropping, then great. But if I had like a 1 out of 64 chance of dropping, I didn't round down, so it ended up being like a 64 out of 128 instead, which that's not how you do math. I like how this Let's Play turned out. This is one of the first ones that Pancake Armin and I recorded together. I love that video where we were in 3'd. At the time we were recording this, I already knew Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was going to be my next Let's Play after this. And Pancake accidentally let out a spoiler for that game, so I bleeped him out. But the way I bleeped it out made it sound like he said a swear word. I love this Let's Play. One of my favorite memories of this one is also when I was going with the fighter bios for one of the late game bosses. I was talking about this one attack that can instantly wipe out your party, and I mentioned how that happened to me in my first playthrough, and then as I'm telling the story, it happens again. I want to include that as a gator memory, but it is a spoiler for a late game boss. I don't know if I want to do that, but I loved how the Let's Play turned out. Splatoon's gonna go an above average. I like how this Let's Play turned out. I really did. It's just that I feel like my future Splatoon Let's Plays benefited a lot more from what I learned from this one. There's a lot of stuff that I would do differently if I were to do the first game again. The big thing was that I didn't really show any online matches of myself losing. I was kind of in the mindset of, oh, what's the point of showing me losing? I wanted to show myself winning all the time because that's awesome. That's not how I play Splatoon at all. I'm not great at Splatoon, especially Splatoon 3. So I feel like with the future games going forward, I definitely got a lot better about showcasing the fact that, hey, I'm not the best Splatoon player in the world. There are times we're going to lose, and that'll still be okay. But I did like how this play turned out. I really like the structure of it. A few things I would do differently, though. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon would go towards the top of Epic Awesomeness. This is another one where... Actually, yeah, this was the first Let's Play where everybody on game first recorded together. So... like, Pancake, James, and Cobra all recorded videos on my channel at this point, but this is the first one where we had a video with all 4 of us together, because we played Scare together. I love those videos. Like, I really liked how this Let's Play turned out. This is one where, at the time that it was happening, I really wanted to Let's Play this game, because I just fell in love with it the first time I played through this game. But I didn't have a 3DS capture card, and I really did not want to do this game without one. I could have done it with the camera, but I really didn't want to, and I'm glad that I waited because I liked how the quality of this Let's Play turned out. I feel like the audio for the game itself could have been a little bit better. There's some times where it kind of feels like a underwater telephone, but I feel like this is a problem that we addressed with 3DS projects going forward. Tomb Raider Trilogy. This is a bit of a weird one to rank because it's technically 3 Let's Plays in one. I'm going to put it towards the back of Epic Awesomeness because I liked how these ones turned out. I really liked how Legend of Underworld specifically turned out. Anniversary, I thought was fine. Anniversary is just an okay game, so there's not much I could do about making it a better Let's Play if I feel like the game itself is just okay. There are a few things that are bothering me about this one. I never did all the bonus videos, and I'm going to tell you why. There was a PSP video that I promised for Tiermaker Legend a long time ago, and it was very expensive to get all the hardware that I needed to get that video recorded. And every time that I've tried recording it, granted, I haven't actually tried recording in years, but when I did try to record it, it was just not going well at all. I was not having fun with it, so I kind of put it on the back burner for a while. And recently, as I've been thinking about what I want to do with that video, I kind of want to make it more about like the handheld versions of this game in general, rather than just the PSP version. So it's going to feature mostly the PSP version, but the DS and Game Boy Advance versions will be sprinkled in throughout the video too. 2-year anniversary is a bonus video for Craft Manners. Is more so feeling like unprepared for it because it's a little difficult to practice for that video because of the way the game save systems work. It's really weird, so it's just a matter of feeling like wanting to do it. And 2-year Underworld's DLC, I could have done it a long time ago. There's really no reason why I haven't done it yet. It's just more of the fact that I want to do the Legend Anniversary ones first. That's right, it hasn't happened yet. It will happen someday. Super Mario Galaxy. This is a fun Let's Play, but I am going to just put it in above average because I liked how this one turned out. I will say I don't remember much of the commentary, though. There are some pretty fun moments here and there, like the Planet Trial videos. I thought were really fun. But to be honest, most of my memories from this Let's Play is just trying to get that footage for that stupid final bonus video. So after the Let's Play ended, I told myself that I was going to do a live stream of Super Luigi Galaxy and edit it down to highlights for a bonus video. I tried it once, realized that this wasn't a good idea, and then just started continuously playing the game on my own time. And then there were rumors about a Switch version coming out, and then Super Mario 3D All-Stars was announced, so I was like, okay, I'm going to instead play that version so I can showcase what's different on the Switch version. And that meant having to 100% this game 2 more times. So that's why that took a long time. Nintendo Land is not anything special, so I'm going to put it in average. I do like how this Let's Play turned out. It was really more so just like a filler Let's Play because around this time I was wanting Splatoon 2 or Majora's Mask 3D to be the next big Let's Play, but they both kind of needed more time. And I was like, alright, I need something to tide the channel over for a little bit. And I'm glad I did because 2018 was a bit of a weird Let's Play. I won't go into any specifics, but my living situation wasn't great towards the end of the year. So having something like this that was nice and simple to work on definitely did help make that situation a lot better. I'm really glad they didn't do Splatoon 2 during that time because, my goodness, the online, like, the internet where I was living at the time was awful. So trying to play an online multiplayer game was not going to work out well. Super Mario 3D Land. I'm going to put this at the back of average. I feel like, I know a couple of my friends said that they were watching all these videos in that Let's Play, which I really appreciate. My thing, though, is that I honestly don't remember much of the commentary from this one, to be honest. And I feel like the structure of this Let's Play didn't work out as well as I would have liked. So this was a bit of a test that I was doing to see if doing, like... Alright, so for context, around this time I was getting more into live streaming, and I had the idea to try to start recording Let's Plays during live streams and editing them down later. And the Super Mario 3D Land was kind of like my big test for this idea, and I realized partway through that this wasn't working as well as I would have liked because it meant playing through the game on stream, and then like it just felt like a lot more work than like actually just recording on my own time and then editing whenever I felt like. So that's kind of the big reason why we've never really done another live stream Let's Play like that. We might someday. I have a couple ideas for other games that could work a lot better than Super Mario 3D Land. So overall, I like this Let's Play. I just don't like the structure of how we did this Let's Play. Limbo will go towards the back as well. We might bump that over... Let's put it above Skyward Sword and before Wind Waker. I liked how this one turned out. This is my first blind Let's Play. And it's currently the only horror game that I've ever covered on the channel. I'm really glad that I did this one, though, because how I discovered James's channel a long time ago was that it's kind of like a funny effect. So the first Let's Play that I ever watched was Joe Conroy, and then from there I watched the Runway Guys, and then from New Super Mario Bros. Wii I started watching Josh Jepson, and then from there I started watching Versus with the Tekken Toucans. And in one of the recommendations when I was watching a Josh Jepson video was James's Let's Play of Limbo he was doing at the time. And that's where I found his channel, and So I knew that if I ever had the chance, I would want to do a Limbo Let's Play. That's kind of like a fun little tribute to that. We eventually did a versus on that, which is pretty awesome. Portal. We're going to put in the back of above average. This is a really fun one. It's one that I wanted to do for a long time. And I really like how the Let's Play turned out. I feel like the developer commentary episodes probably could have been just like one bonus video towards the end of the Let's Play. But I really like how this one turned out. I'd love to do Portal 2 at some point. It's just a matter of figuring out when exactly I'd want to do that. Splatoon 2 was going to go towards the top of epic awesomeness. I've said before, and I said during like the grand finale as well, but Splatoon 2 is one of my favorite Let's Plays that I've ever done on this channel. At the time that this was coming out, this was my favorite Let's Play. I don't know if I'd say that nowadays though, but I really loved how Splatoon 2 turned out. I spent a lot of time planning out how the Let's Play was going to turn out, and it was kind of an amusing time trying to figure that out, because at first we just had the main game, and then Actual Expansion came out, and then Clan Blitz came out, and then we had the Splatfest rematches. So after Actual Expansion came out, I wanted to see if I could make the Let's Play end on episode 100, because I thought that'd be a pretty fun milestone. So trying to work out the Let's Play so that could work out was kind of an amusing time. But I really loved how this one turned out. I liked how we changed things from the first Splatoon game. We were able to do a video for nearly every Splatfest, which was pretty awesome. And the big thing that I learned from this Let's Play, though, was that when I was doing the Splatfest, I was just recording the gameplay footage for it. I wasn't actually doing commentary at that time. And I realized partway through, like, actually editing the Splatfest episodes, that there isn't that much to talk about between the individual Splatfests themselves. So I figured with Splatoon 3, what I'd do differently for that was that we would live stream the Splatfests as they were happening, so that if I were to do a Splatoon 3 Let's Play down the road, then we could use those streams like a highlight montage for each of the Splatfests instead, which I feel like it's going to work out a lot better in the end. So yeah, Splatoon 2, very special place in my heart. Majora's Mask 3D, we're also going to place pretty high up on the list. I think I'm going to place it after Earthbound and before Luigi's Mansion Darkman. I really liked how this one turned out. I feel like the game audio could have been done a little bit better, because I didn't have an audio cable anymore for my 3DS this time. But this is where I feel like I really perfected doing a 3D Zelda game. I feel like this is one that holds up very well. I love how this Let's Play turned out. My problem though is that it's the 3DS version. I vastly prefer the Nintendo 64 version of Majora's Mask. I feel like it's a much better game. The 3DS version does a lot of dumb changes. Like everything about the Great Barrier Coast sucks now, and the Bomber's Notebook drives me crazy. But in the end of the day, it's still Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is my second favorite Zelda game of all time, and I really like how this Let's Play turned out. If there's one thing that I would have changed about this, is that I would have tried to have had the Attacker artist join us for a post-commentary episode at some point, because I know that they really like Majora's Mask as well, so who knows, maybe in the future if we ever do Majora's Mask a third time. Breath of the Wild. I'm a bit hesitant to rank this one at the moment, because it's still ongoing at the time they're recording this Let's Play. So at the moment, I'm going to rank it towards the back of epic awesomeness. I might change that a little bit later in the video. But Breath of the Wild, again, I'm a little bit hesitant to say my closing thoughts on it because it's still ongoing, but this has been a huge part of my life these past couple years, and yeah, it's really hard to believe that it's almost over. We only have like, how many videos do we have left to do? We uploaded episode 108 not too long ago. I don't want to say the exact episode number that I want the Let's Play down on yet, but I think in terms of recording, I only have like 5 videos left to record, which is insane to think about. But we're almost at the end of Breath of the Wild. That's really hard to believe. But despite this game's problems, the fact that I don't think of highly of this game as I did when it first came out, the Let's Play itself is still something very special to me. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. We're going to put in above average above Mario Galaxy. That was a pretty fun one. We had some pretty fun moments in it. A bit of a fun story, though. I keep forgetting about the grand finale. So, I thought for like a year or so that we uploaded the Superstar Road videos, but we actually didn't. And then I forgot to upload the grand finale, so yeah, we'll probably see that on the channel pretty soon. I'm not going to be covering New Super Luigi U during this Let's Play, because my mindset is that if a DLC campaign got its own physical release, like a standalone release, then it deserves its own Let's Play. So, New Super Luigi U, I feel like it deserves its own Let's Play at some point in the future, so don't expect that to be covered in the same Let's Play. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. This is a fun one, but I'm going to rank it in the back of above average. To be honest, this is another one of those situations where I honestly don't remember much of the commentary of this one, but a lot of my favorite moments were from that video we recorded with Pink Cameraman. like when I do the countdown to sync up the video and I snap my fingers at the end, and Pancakes are like, every time you snap your fingers, a butterfly turns to dust. I love how that turned out. That entire video I really like. That's probably one of my favorites in the entire Let's Play. If there was something I would have done differently about it, though, I don't think I would have done the reignited version, because, let's just say that I'm not entirely happy with the company that made Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, the reignited version, but yeah. Link's crossbow training was not anything special. We're gonna put it in average. Let's put it behind Mario 64. This is a fun one, but it's very much just like a filler Let's Play that I just felt like doing it because I thought it would be a fun idea. It was a fun Let's Play. I just don't think it was anything special. Super Paper Mario. That's just going to go pretty high up on the list. Let's put it between Majora's Mask and Earthbound. This is my favorite Mario RPG of all time, and I feel like with this Let's Play we finally did this game justice. So I was really happy with how this one turned out. The thing though is that it is a story-driven game. And I feel like with it being a more text-based story-driven game than what we did before, it was a little bit hard to come up with amusing moments. So a lot of what I remember from this Let's Play was from how we told the story. Like, I really loved how we handled Chapter 8 in this game. So, yeah, overall it was a pretty fun Let's Play. I feel like I know what I would do differently for future Mario RPGs though, so that's something that I will keep in mind in the future. This is not organized properly. Toy Story 2 happened after Pokemon Snap, so let's talk about Game Boy Player next. This is not a very special Let's Play at all, but I just think the joke of it is great. Like, an entire Let's Play just dedicated to sitting on the Game Boy Player screen. I like how this one turned out. Tetris Effect, we'll put an average behind Link's Crossbow Training. This is very much a, I'm gonna say product of its time, but that makes it sound like it's a very controversial game. Tetris Effect isn't a very special Let's Play, but it was something that I felt like was needed at the time. This is the first Let's Play that I did after I moved out of my family's house and I started working at Disney. I was still getting used to the groove of working for the Disney College program at the time, and trying to figure out how to balance that and making Let's Play videos was something I was still struggling with at the time. So starting with a nice simple game like Tetris Effect definitely helped with that. So this isn't like a super special Let's Play or anything like that, but at the time I was really happy with it. There's a really funny moment that happened. I don't remember which episode it was, but there's one moment where my alarm went off in the middle of recording and it scared me really bad, so that might turn into a gated memory at some point. Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. This one's a pretty funny one. So Kirby 64, I don't remember it being as difficult as it was, so there were some frustrations when I was recording the video, especially with the fact that I was playing on the Wii U version, like the Wii U Virtual Console version, and my gamepad was just not working that well, so that was adding the frustrations. But I love Kirby 64. This is my favorite game in the Kirby series, and I'm really happy we finally did a Let's Play of it. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be ranked number 2 on our list. This is where I feel like we really perfected doing a 3D platformer, especially a Mario platformer. I loved how this one turned out. It's probably the most useful Let's Play that I've ever made, because every video has a timestamp for when we get the actual moons, and the final video has all the regional coins compiled into it. If I was to change one thing about it, I would have made the original coins its own separate video, but the thing is that I wanted the Let's Play so badly to end on episode 64, and we got it to happen, which I was really happy about. So, I love how this Let's Play turned out. I feel like this is really where, I feel like I really peaked with this Let's Play. I would love to see another Mario game on this scale, so we can make it another Let's Play like this at some point in the future. But I love how Mario Odyssey turned out. Pokemon Snap was kind of like an impulse decision to make a Let's Play of. I'm gonna put it between Portal and Spyro 2. It was a pretty fun one. It wasn't anything special though, so I don't think it should be super high up on the list, but it did have some pretty great moments. Toy Story 2 will go... I'm gonna let's put that above Earthbound. This is a pretty fun one. This is a childhood favorite game of mine. I was satisfied with how the original Let's Play turned out at the time, but again, I knew that I could do a much better job if I did it again nowadays, so I'm really happy with how this one turned out. The timing of it could not have been more perfect, though. So, we just finished Pokemon Snap, and Mario Odyssey's main story had finished around the time, and I knew I wanted to start Animal Crossing in December, so I had like a couple months of like being able to do whatever I wanted on the channel. And I was like, okay, I need a short game that could be done in about 10-20 videos or so that I could wrap up before we start Animal Crossing. And when I realized that Toy Story 2 was something that I really wanted to redo at some point, I was like, okay, this is the perfect time to do this. I really like how this one turned out. Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is actually going to be my number 2. It might be bumped up to number 1 if we do another tier list video at some point in the future. But this is a very special Let's Play to me. There are a couple things I wish I did differently. I wish we were able to unlock customizing the landscaping a bit earlier in the Let's Play so we could show off a couple more things with that. And Happy Home Paradise turned out to be a way more time-consuming endeavor than I originally planned. But I love how this one turned out. I really liked the islands we were able to showcase for this one. I liked how the island turned out in the end. And this is a very special one because this is the last one Mini Beanie was directly involved in. We were able to showcase her town, and her town is still amazing. Like, she did a whole Disney Castle area, and I still have her original Switch with me. So, yeah, like, I love this, how this Let's Play turned out. And the really cool thing is that they announced a big update for this game, so it's no secret we're going to come back to this one at some point. We have some more Animal Crossing goodness coming in the near future, and it's going to be super awesome and epic. Tomb Raider. This one is a bit of a weird one to rank, so here's the thing. Tomb Raider is a good game. I really like how this one turned out. I wish I just waited a little longer though. Right after we finished this was when they announced the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remaster. If I just waited a little bit longer, I could have done that version instead. Recording this off my PS2 was a pain in the butt, but I like how it turned out. And the thing I'm really excited about is that, like, when we first started the Let's Play, I kind of made a point saying we're not going to cover the expansions because at the time it was PC exclusive, and I was not able to record that. But all the expansions are included in the remaster, so after I play around with it a little bit more, so I can get a bit more familiar with it, I would love to do some bonus videos showcasing that at some point. Game & Watch The Legend of Zelda. This is a funny one. It's like another Game Boy player kind of Let's Play where it's already more of a joke, but I'm going to rank it up pretty high. Let's put it above Tomb Raider, actually. So, this wasn't a very special Let's Play, and yeah, it started off as a video I wanted to do for the 12 Days of Gaming to showcase the Game & Watch, but then as I was recording that video, I thought it'd be funnier to make a whole Let's Play about this instead. So that's the story of how that came to be. But the reason why I'm ranking up so high up on the list is because this is where Winternet and I started talking. So she came across this Let's Play and commented about how funny of an idea it was. And I was like, oh yay, we have a new Let's Play friend! So, yeah, like, Game & Watch Legend of Zelda was a pretty fun time. Pikmin 2. I'm gonna rank it... Do I want to put it above Mario Odyssey, or I'm gonna rank it number 4. Pikmin 2. There is a reason why it took a while. It is a very difficult game, and I did not feel prepared to cover it for the longest time, but I'm really glad that I did this game when it did. Mini B was able to see it before her accident, so like being able to, like, we both loved Pikmin so much, so being able to play a Pikmin game was really something that helped me get through that difficult time. But this is also a very difficult game. Those post-game dungeons are brutal as heck. So yeah, there's a lot more rage moments towards the end of Let's Play, but I think that's what makes it funnier. I really liked how this one turned out. And I also really love the joke we did where We kind of like switched consoles midway through. The first half of the Let's Play was done on the Wii version, but then they announced Pikmin 1 Plus 2 for Switch during the Let's Play. So after we finished the main story, the entirety of the post game was done on the Switch version, so that's pretty fun. Batman Arkham Asylum. I'm gonna rank it towards the back of Epic Awesomeness. So this is a pretty amusing one. This is one that I wanted to do for a while. I was going to do the PS4 version, but then the Switch version was announced instead, so I decided to do that. And I feel like I keep saying this. I feel like this is where our story-driven Let's Plays are really starting to be something special. I would love to do future games like this at some point, but as for right now, Arkham Asylum is a very special one. There were some really, really funny moments. I don't want to pat myself in the back or anything like that, but I love some of the jokes we did. Like, the whole running gag of being all like, because I'm Batman. I love that so much. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I'm going to rank this one in above average. Let's put it above Pokemon Snap. This is a fine Let's Play. I don't know when I'll ever be able to get around to doing the DLC levels because, fun fact, the DLC can't be bought anymore on Xbox 360, so if I want to do the DLC levels, I gotta find a copy of the Ultimate 5th Edition. But this is a pretty fine one. I love Star Wars, so it was really fun to make a Let's Play talking about nothing but Star Wars. I will say, though, the announcement video for this probably is one of my favorites that I've ever done on the channel. Doing like a short movie with Esteban the Porg exploring Galaxy's Edge. I really loved how that turned out. That's honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever done on the channel. Luigi's Mansion. I'm gonna rank this one, let's put it at the top of above average. I don't think this one's anything special, but Luigi's Mansion was something that I wanted to do for a while. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the GameCube or 3DS version, but I settled on the 3DS version because it had been a while since we'd done a handheld game. So this is a pretty fun one to do. I liked it. It's just not anything special. On the other hand, Bluey the video game. I'm going to put in the back of Epic Awesomeness, but I'm ranking it so high because this is where a friend of mine and I were able to record a Let's Play together. This is such a silly game. I don't think I'd honestly care that much about this game if it wasn't for the Let's Play. Like, I love Bluey. The friend we were recording with got me into the series, and I knew, okay, we gotta do a video at some point for the Bluey game. And I really like how that turned out. And there's another Bluey game coming out next year, and I'm super excited for it. Bluey's Quest for the Gold Pen. Wii Sports. I'm gonna rank that. Let's put it around. Let's put it around here. That seems like a good spot. Wii Sports was another April Fool's Let's Play that actually took a lot more work than I thought it would to finish. So it took a little bit longer than expected to record this Let's Play, but I really like how it turned out. And now for the last one, our most recent Let's Play at the time that I recorded this video, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I'm gonna rank this one at. I'm gonna rank it as a 4 for now. So I loved how the Game Boy videos turned out. I feel like I finally did this game justice. This is my favorite game of all time, and I was really happy with how the Let's Play turned out. The reason why I'm not ranking it any higher at the moment, though, is because we're technically not done with this one yet. We are going to be covering the Switch version within the same Let's Play. I know when we're going to start that, it's not going to be for a little bit, because I do want there to be like a nice clean gap between covering the Game Boy version and then covering the remake, because I feel like having them too close together will kind of cause a bit more burnout for the game. Now, I can play these games endlessly, but having them on the channel endlessly probably isn't going to be the best solution in the world. So for now, we're going to place it at number 4, but if we revisit this tier list down the road, then it might be bumped up higher. And that is our current tier list for our L8RG8R2U Let's Plays. In May, we have the original Link's Awakening, Epic Mickey, New Super Mario Bros., Tiermaker Legend, Legend of Zelda: Force Art. Actually, I'm gonna bump Majora's Mask up higher. There we go. In May, we have Link's Awakening, Epic Mickey, New Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, Tiermaker Legend, Legend of Zelda: Force Art, Super Mario, and 2-year Anniversary. In below average, we have the original Toy Story 2 and Pikmin. In average, we have Nintendo Land, Super Mario 64, Link's Crossbow Training, Tetris Effect, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD, Limbo, Super Mario, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, Pikmin 3, and Super Mario 3D Land. In above average, we have Luigi's Mansion, Splatoon, Spyro the Dragon, Game & Watch Legend of Zelda, Tomb Raider, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario Galaxy, Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards, Wii Sports, Portal, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Pokemon Snap, Spyro 2 Ripple's Rage, and Game Boy Player. And in epic awesomeness, we have Splatoon 2, Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Pikmin 2, Luigi's Mansion: Dark Moon, Legend of Majora's Mask 3D, Super Mario 2 Story 2, Earthbound, Captain of Treasure Tracker, Tomb Raider Trilogy, Batman: Arkham Asylum, Blue the Final Game, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I should not do stuff in one. I should not do stuff in a single breath. Thank you all so much for watching this updated version of our tier list. If you have your own tier list thingies you want to do, then there'll be a link in the description below. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and until next time, may the gator to you. Oh yeah. That was 40 minutes, holy crap.